So now we are going to talk about loading the data into Python using Pandas. So we are going to learn how to load Excel or CSV, JSON, different data file format. We are going to see how we can load it into Python using Pandas. Before we go through that, we need to understand that, as we said before, Pandas is dealing with table as an array or as a matrix. So a 1D matrix or 1D array in Pandas, they call it series. A 1D array or 1D matrix means we can just say that it can be like one column or maybe one row. So a single dimension array or a single dimension matrix can be represented as this list, which is having a lot of items. Now this list can be represented as a column or as a row, as a single row or as a single column. Now the moment we have a table, that means we have a 2D, we have multiple rows and we have multiple columns. Now in this case we call it data frame. So Pandas, they call the 2D array or 2D matrix, they call it data frame. And the way how to write the data frame, this is actually an example, and if you noticed, it is starting with 2 square bracket at the beginning, and at the end also we have 2 square bracket. This is one of the ways to know whether it is a single dimension or not, because if it is a single dimension, it will start and it will end with a single square bracket, but if it is a 2D, it will start and end with 2 square bracket. And if we have noticed, we have inside this 2D array, we have inside 2 nested lists. In fact, each and every list or each and every nested list, it will represent a row. So let us assume now I want to take this information into this table. So what we can say is, we can say that the first 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be represented as a first, for example, row, while 5, 6, 7, 8 is going to be below the first row. So something like that. So this is actually the format to represent the tables in Python using Pandas. So Pandas will convert whatever tables we are going to load into this format, This format, we call it an array. a 2D array, or in Pandas term, we should call it data frame. Now the function which we are going to use to read or load the data is read underscore. So read underscore will help us to load different types of data, and we are going to see that we can load JSON, we can load HTML, CSV, Excel, etc., SQL. And at the same time we can also export by using this function, and we are going to see how to export later. So we can import and also we can apply actions, and then after that we can export again. Now this is an example of using read underscore. So here what we are doing is we are just calling the library, for example Pandas, and then after that dot to access read underscore CSV. Read underscore CSV is a class, and why we are actually doing this, what is the benefit of using read underscore? Read underscore is a class which is having inside a lot of different functions. What is the meaning? That means if I want to use any functions related to read underscore, first I need to create an object. Now let us assume this object, I will call it data. So what happened is I'm calling the library, which is Pandas, and then after that I will press dot. I will be able to access, as you know, all the functions and the classes available in Pandas. Now one of these classes is read underscore, whether it is CSV or Excel, etc. So read underscore CSV, for example, is a class which is having inside a lot of functions. Everybody knows from basics of Python who attended with us before that inside the class, what do we have? We have a lot of functions. But in order for us to access these functions, first I need to create an object from the class. So here in this case, I have created an object which is, for example, data. Now after that, what I can do, I can start using all the functions available in read underscore class.